Hello. Hey guys, how's everybody doing this evening?
Very well, thanks.
All right, awesome. Well, glad that you guys can all join us tonight. Welcome to the 23rd annual Long Island International Film Expo, which is September 30th to October 8th. So tonight, these are all films from October 7th. This will be the actually I know we have some screenings on the 8th, but everything I have here is from October 7th, so it'll be this block. What I'm going to ask everyone to do is that to mute yourselves, and if you're speaking, then unmute. I'll introduce the film, the category that it's in, the time that it's playing on October 7th, the filmmaker, and then if you can introduce yourself, the project, what the project's about, where you're from, anything special we should know about the project. I'd like to thank Deborah Markowitz for setting this up, John Marine for setting up all of the Zoom links and doing the recording, and Rachel Perez for sending the emails out to all the filmmakers. My name is Ramfis Myrthil. I'm a filmmaker myself as well, and I am on the board of the Long Island Film Expo, and excited to be with all of you this evening. So we're going to start first with Gina Marie Rodriguez. Gina Marie Rodriguez has a film called Cruel and Unhappy Therapy. Cruel and Unusual Therapy. Cruel and Unusual Therapy. It's a short film. It's playing at 1:30 on October 7th. It's part of the virtual experience. And Gina, the floor is yours.
Hi. Well, I apologize for being a little bit late, but I am Gina Marie Rodriguez, and I was the lead actress, the writer, the director, and the producer of Cruel and Unusual Therapy because, you know, why not just do it all, right? It was a really fun project which deals with a woman who is doing her best to get over a fantastical crush on her therapist.
Okay, and why did you want to tell this story? Why was it important, or is it based off any true events?
It was loosely based on my experience in therapy. I was in therapy with a very, very attractive man. And I told him that I was going to be writing this and that it was kind of inspired by our sessions. But I really just believe in comedy, and I believe it's important to just laugh at yourself and make other people laugh and hopefully forget whatever stresses they're dealing with in their day. So that was the impetus for it.
Okay, and then where are you from?
I'm from Raritan, New Jersey.
Okay. All right. And then did this therapist see the film, or are they going to be seeing the film during the festival?
So he did see it. I sent him a link to it, and then he ceased communications. So who knows what he thought of it. I'm hoping that he's flattered and not entirely mortified, but it could really go either way. So.
Okay, that's really interesting, putting yourself out there on many fronts. Wow, you're definitely a risk taker. Congratulations. Is there anything else that you want to share about yourself or the film or upcoming projects or anything?
Well, I'm actually working on a quarantine-inspired sequel to the project. So if you guys like the film, then keep an eye on my YouTube channel, which is just Gina Marie Rodriguez. And I don't have a projected end date yet, but hopefully in the next 2 to 3 months, we'll get the sequel out there. And hopefully it'll make you laugh.
Awesome. Well, you know, feel free to share in the chat, you know, your YouTube channel and how we can connect with you and follow you. Again, you know, congratulations on your film and break a leg.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Next up, I have Lonnie Ross. Lonnie has a film called Gary Got Involved. It's a short film. It's playing at 1:30 on October 7. Lonnie, are you with us? Lonnie, I see you. You're on mute. Do you want to unmute yourself? There you go. Lonnie, you're also sideways. Are you able to flip? There you go. All right, you're rocking and rolling. Well, the floor is yours. We don't hear you. Don't hear you. Put your volume on. You're on mute. Unmute yourself. I don't know what happened to Lonnie. Lonnie, we can't hear you. You're still, it doesn't look like you're on mute, but we don't hear you. Keep testing it. I'm going to go to the next person in the meanwhile. The next person I have is Sari. Sari, I think we had you last night. You have a film called Heroes Honeymoon. It is in the short film category. It's playing on October 7 as well at 1:30. Sari, the floor is yours.
Great. Thank you. I'll take the floor. I appreciate that. Yeah, I've got a short called Heroes Honeymoon. It too is based on a real event. I'm just curious. I need to ask, how many people heard of Orson Welles online right now? How many people are aware of the War of the Worlds radio incident? Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. Okay, well, this event occurred the night of Orson Welles' War of the Worlds radio catastrophe. And it is actually something that happened to the screenwriter's parents. They were married that day. They left for their honeymoon at Niagara Falls, and something happened regarding the War of the Worlds. What my producing partner and I found very interesting, when we first did the film and we had like a focus group of people to come in and watch it, anyone under 40 had no idea what we were talking about. You know, who's Orson Welles? What's War of the Worlds? So we had to add some footage to explain War of the Worlds and Orson Welles. So it still is a humorous touch of life. Our biggest problem was that the whole film takes place on a bus, 1938. And we had this script, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 years because before we actually did it, because I kept saying to Rich, my production partner, we need a bus. How are we going to find a bus? 1930s, 38. And I will tell you, if you need old bus transportation, there is the Museum of Bus Transportation in Hershey, Pennsylvania. They are wonderful people to work with. We spent 3 days filming in Hershey at the museum, so we could use the interior of a 1929 bus. We had a lot of fun. I met some phenomenal actors that I'm still in touch with. And I hope everybody enjoys it. I'm gonna back up because I didn't say that I'm Sherry Raddick Stroud from Falls Church, Virginia, just outside of Washington, D.C. And my film's Heroes Honeymoon. We hope you enjoy it. Any questions?
Okay. Well, I think you're rocking and rolling. That was a great, breakdown and, explanation. Thank you, Sherry. It's good to see you again.
Pleasure, same here.
All right. I'm actually going to jump and go to Valentina Prio, I think. I see your phone is like low on battery.
Yeah.
So you have a film called Val. It's a webisode. It is playing at 4:30 on October 7. And I'm guessing it's inspired by your name, Val, but the floor is yours. Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I really appreciate the jump. So sorry about that. Yeah, my name is Valentina Prio. My project is Val. It is a pilot. I am the writer, creator, executive producer, director, and I also act in it as well. Yes, it is semi-autobiographical, a big semi, because, a lot of things are sort of extracted from various happenings and put together, right? Val is about a New York artist. Really, we use live action and animation to tell the story of a New York artist and her young teen daughter as they face the reality of a $0 bank balance. But it's also about a person trying to claim their place in the creative arts world as a woman, and the kind of fight that entails. Also, she struggles between her tenacity in that regard and thoughts of giving up, giving all of that up, that fight, in order to provide an easier life for her child and also herself. Both of those things yield very different outcomes, and also, have very different consequences. Making decisions as a parent, creative parent as well, is not easy because, as parents, we lead by example. So there you go. Oh, and I am in New York.
Now, it is a webisode, so there are multiple episodes that we can follow. And if so, where do we follow them? Okay,
so that is the pilot. We really only had enough to do the pilot as of yet. But if anyone wants to follow us, we're at Val the Series on Instagram. You can follow us there. We also have a page on Facebook, same thing, Val the Series. You can look for updates there.
Okay, great. Well, if you don't mind sharing in the chat,
Of course.
Great.
I'm really excited to be included. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for submitting. We appreciate you submitting to the festival, and congratulations on getting in.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so we're going to go back to Lonnie. Lonnie, did you figure it out?
Yes. Can you hear me?
All right, awesome. Great. Hear you loud and clear. So Lonnie, again, has a film called Gary Got Involved. It's a short film. It's playing on October 7 at 1:30, virtual experience. Lonnie, the floor is yours.
Okay. Hello, everyone. So my name is Lonnie Ross, and you're going to watch the short film Gary Got Involved. I wrote it, I directed it, and I act in it. And it's a comedy. It's loosely based on my experience volunteering for a politician for the first time in my life back in 2018 for the midterm elections, where I went canvassing door to door. And it's something I'd never done before. I'm not very politically active and very uncomfortable doing it, but I was convinced by a friend to kind of get up and do something. So I gave it a shot. And so it was kind of a whirlwind of just anxiety and people being angry that you're bothering them on the weekend, and some very nice conversations. Also learning about a politician I was canvassing for. It took me a minute because I was worried that people would start asking me a bunch of questions that I didn't know the answers to. So you'll see in the short film, it starts off like that. It's the character I play slowly kind of gets into it, and then something happens where it's not so fun anymore. And that kind of happened to me, where I started resenting the politician I was canvassing for because I felt like I was being taken for granted as a volunteer. I became kind of selfish and kind of lost focus on why I was doing it in the first place, and thought, you know, why aren't I being thanked, and forgot that I'm actually doing it for the greater good. And you know, and it was important for me to make it funny without it coming off like a sketch. So I really was excited. Instead of filming a sketch, I wanted to make it more cinematic, and kind of the pacing was important to me, to kind of take my time and let a story kind of slowly evolve instead of hitting you in the face with it right from the get-go. So that's kind of the gist of it. And I'm originally from Long Island. I live in Los Angeles these days. I filmed it in Los Angeles, but the short takes place in Arizona.
Is the politician based in Arizona, Long Island, or California?
The politician was in California, and I felt like living in LA and seeing a lot of people in LA film in LA for LA was a little tiresome to me. So I wanted the challenge. I wanted it to be, instead of being in the bubble of Los Angeles, I wanted it to be more of a bigger picture, anywhere USA story. And so LA is easy to fake for Arizona. So that's why I did that.
Okay, cool, man. Well,
yeah, but the politician was in a county that I don't live in, and I didn't really, you know, we drove like an hour, and so it was just a funny situation to be knocking on doors and talking up this politician to people who sometimes didn't want to hear it.
Got you. I'm guessing the politician hasn't seen it, right?
The politician has not seen it. And he was not favored to win this particular election in Orange County, California, but he did win. And no, it's not a bad idea. Maybe I will send it his way, see what he thinks.
Awesome. Okay. Well, is there a way that people can follow your journey and this project?
Well, you know, right now it's for film festivals only. Mm-hmm. And it's also interesting to navigate how to release something online, to get eyes on it and not just throw it into the void. So ideally I get it online before the election, and kind of after it's played, you know, great festivals such as this one. It'd be nice to get a lot of eyes on it. I'm still navigating how to do that effectively.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing. It sounds like a really interesting concept. And congratulations.
I appreciate that. I'm very proud and honored to be a part of the Long Island International Film Expo as someone who grew up on Long Island.
Well, we're happy to have you, Lonnie.
Thanks.
Awesome. All right. Well, we're going to go to our next filmmaker. That will be Alison Robbins. Alison, are you with us? Alison Robbins. All right. The next person I have is Casey Kelorian. Are you with us, Casey? All right. Are you here, Casey?
Hi.
Oh, there you are. Okay. Casey has a film called Motherhood. It is in the short film category. It's playing at 1:30, October 7th. Casey, the floor is yours.
Hi, I am Casey Kelorian. I'm a New York City filmmaker. On this film, I acted and I also produced it. I co-produced it with the writer, DP, and fellow producer, Anne Bezold. She's not here today. She's currently in Europe. And the story is about a young woman that I play who's constantly at war with her 5-year-old son, when all she really wants is for the kid to leave her alone and for her husband to pay attention to her again. And this story takes place on one day. We watch her have to wrestle with the decision on how to solve this problem and whether or not she's going to take that solution. So we're interested in telling this story because it dealt with the taboo topic of mothers regretting motherhood. And when you do a Google search of regretting motherhood, some pretty interesting stuff comes up. And we wanted to bring forth a voice more to that topic so people could come forth and talk about it with one another instead of hiding.
Out of curiosity, what kind of stuff came up? It sounds really interesting.
Gosh, like across the board, everyone's like, I love my child. However, and then everything from I would have chosen different to I really wish someone told me certain aspects of motherhood, and I felt like I could we could communicate together in order to actually be as truthful as possible.
Okay. All right. Well, congratulations. Thank you for submitting.
Thank you for having us. We're excited to watch all your work.
Awesome. Well, break a leg at the festival. And yeah. So the next person I have is Cynthia Silver. Are you here with us, Cynthia?
I am.
All right, Cynthia. You have a film called The Shallow End. It's in the Long Island short film category. It is playing October 7 at 1:30. The floor is yours.
Hi, I'm Cynthia Silver. I'm the director of The Shallow End, which was shot on location in Long Island, on Long Island, at the Rosalind Pines Swim and Tennis Club in Roslyn, New York. And The Shallow End is it's a coming of age story about a group of teenage girls jockeying for power around a community swimming pool during the summer of 1984. It was originally a one-act play written by Wendy MacLeod, and I was fortunate enough to recruit Wendy to also do the adaptation of the short film. Let's see, I'm a New Yorker for the last 26 years. I'm based in New York City. I was born and raised in the San Francisco Bay Area. And hi, Bay Area. And also the film is screening on what will be my 18th wedding anniversary. So there's a fun fact for you.
Wow, congratulations. It's awesome. What a way to celebrate.
Yeah.
Why 1984? You know, is it because the poem was set up that way? And then was it a period piece? I guess you shot it. Is it 84? Okay.
Yeah. Well, here's another fun kind of full circle story about it. I had directed the one-act play. I directed a group of students of mine in the one-act play in 2010 at the Atlantic Theater Company in New York. And it was my first adventure in directing. And I was not a filmmaker yet. And I thought, okay, if I ever do become a filmmaker, this is a story that really resonates with me. The play was originally produced in the 90s. I think it was 92 at Ensemble Studio Theater. So the play really resonated with me because I was an adolescent during the 1980s. And as Wendy and I started talking about a short film adaptation, we made a decision pretty quickly that we wanted to make it a period piece. Practically speaking, also because these young women in the play don't have cell phones. I mean, it's like, you know, the whole technology element, you know, it just brings another layer to the story that we just felt that really didn't apply to the story that we were trying to tell. So we decided to make it a period piece. And so we went, I recruited the wonderful Karen Novak, who was my location scout. And I recruited her long before I even had raised any money for the film, because I needed to know if there was even a location that we could potentially shoot it within the 90-mile radius. And so she went on, you know, essentially like a scavenger hunt, and we found this incredible location in Roslyn. So, and that really also helped us determine just how much it was going to cost to make it as well. So I originally, it was my first adventure in directing, you know, when I directed the play, and then, you know, have this beautiful full circle moment of directing the film once I became a filmmaker. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a cool little backstory. It takes a lot to be able to put a project, and that's something that's really important, the continuity, you know, of it.
Right.
So, well done, you know,
Thank
especially
you.
for your first directing gig, right?
Well, I mean, I knew that if I wanted to make the short right, that I was going to have to educate myself as a filmmaker. So this is my fourth short film.
Okay.
I really decided, I was like, you need experience, you need to know how to do this, because this is a huge project.
Mm-hmm.
And so essentially I went to the do-it-yourself film school of Cynthia Silver, and and gathered a lot of experience on set. And then finally, by then, had a really incredible team assembled that I knew would support me in making this film.
Congratulations on this journey.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. All right, well, break a leg out there, Cynthia Silver.
Thank you.
I'm going to go to our next filmmaker, which is Darren Miller. Darren, are you here with us?
I'm taking over for Darren. I'm Don.
Okay, great. All right. So the name of the film is Sunday Dinner. It is in the short film category. It's also playing at 1:30 on October 7. And Dom, the floor is yours. Introduce who you are, you know, give us the whole lowdown.
Okay. My name's Don Finelli. Yeah, I'm the writer, and I act in Sunday Dinner. And it's about an Italian-American family, a couple siblings coming together for their traditional Sunday dinner after their parents pass away. And one of them refuses to eat the meatballs for a very specific reason. And thus ensues a very contentious conflict between tradition and progression. So that's kind of where it starts. Yeah, it's a short film. So. Okay,
and where was it shot?
This was shot in Los Angeles, although I wrote it when I was living in Brooklyn. I grew up in New Jersey, lived in Brooklyn for about 6-7 years, and then moved out to Los Angeles about 3 years ago. So we shot it. It was supposed to be, we found like a place in Glendale and outside LA here. And yeah, it was actually Darren was moving into this place. So we had like a free dining room. So yeah.
That's awesome. Great. Is there any information you want to share with us where we could follow you?
It's, okay. You know, it's the same thing with Lonnie. It's like, it's kind of out there right now, like sundaydinnerfilm.com. I mean, you can track like the festivals and stuff like that. We've been honored to get into a couple, and very honored to be here as well. Any tri-state area is my home. So it's very cool to be here, and I'm excited to check out everybody's films.
Yep. All right. Well, Dom, thank you for, filling in.
Of course. Darren. Yeah. Thanks for having us. Yeah. Appreciate it.
Our regards to Darren, and congratulations.
I will.
Break a leg.
Thanks, man.
You're welcome. All right. Well, next up I have Mark Cabaroy. Are you with us, Mark? Mark Cabaroy. Mark's film is called What a Wonderful World. All right, next I have Joe-Bert Creamer. Are you here, Joe-Bert Creamer? Film is called Forgotten.
Actually, it's Joe and Herb. Joe-Bert's the production company.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. All right, well, your film is playing October 7 at 4:30. The floor is yours.
Joe Kramer.
I'm Herb Kramer.
Our film is Forgotten. It was filmed at an Airbnb in Accord, New York. And it's basically about like what's healthy when it comes to grieving the loss of a loved one, and trying not to take it to the point of actually forgetting them. And it's the whole film is metaphorical, but we make it physical, that his memory of his sister, there's like a physical embodiment of it where she comes back to him, and it was actually done because we had just lost our sister, and it was just kind of like an irrational fear, I guess, of like what if I forget her. kind of a thing, like, which never really happens, but and we just kind of want, it's a little bit, I guess, sappier than what we usually do, because up to that point we were known as the horror guys too, so this was one of our first films that wasn't horror.
And where did you guys shoot?
Accord, New York.
Accord, is that upstate?
Yeah, it's upstate.
Okay.
And we're from northern New Jersey, West Milford.
Awesome. Where can we learn more about, the other stuff that you're doing? I know you said you do some horror stuff. Do you have a website or?
Yeah, we actually have several films out there in festivals right now. JobaTentertainment.com.
Mm-hmm.
And we're also Facebook. We always post like our upcoming festivals and trailers, whatever we have going on. We're also on Instagram. You can follow us any one of those, and you should be up to date on what we're doing.
Okay, well, feel free to share in the chat. And wow, what an honor to, for you, the both of you, to share, something special to the chest about your family member, about your sister. And, congratulations, and it's interesting to, make that shift and transition as a filmmaker, go from horror to a different genre. So we're excited to see, how you guys were able to do that and, break a leg.
Thanks.
All right. Well, next I'm going to Molly Gaze. Are you with us, Molly?
Hi.
Hey, Molly, look at you. You're all dolled up, ready for the carpet. You?
It's like I can be quarantined, but I can also dress up. So it's gonna happen.
Your film is called Keeping Our Time. It's a short film. It's playing also at 4:30 on October 7. Well, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Yeah. So, hi, I'm Molly Gaze. My film is Keeping Our Time. We filmed this in Brooklyn, New York, actually in my house. We filmed it in one day, in about 6 hours. And I think we did a pretty good job. We had an amazing team. The cinematographer brought in a whole crew, and it was kind of awesome. I had worked with him on another film that's actually in the Long Island Film Expo called Girl Boxer. So that'll be coming.
Okay, yeah. She's amazing. She was on last night.
Oh yeah, Lauren.
Yeah.
I play the pub singer in the film. And she's actually also in Keeping Our Time. So
wow. Yeah, she was telling us that was her first film, and we were telling her that she should make the feature. She was like, should I do the feature? Should I do the series? And we said, go out there and make both. And everyone was like rooting her on last night. So that's so awesome that you guys worked together.
I read the first pilot a few days ago. She wrote a full hour, and we just went through it. And I was like, oh my God, are we going to be able to do this? It'd be amazing. So yeah, Lauren's incredible.
Yeah, I think she said that you guys were at what's that place? Series Fest, right? Yeah, which is a big deal. A big, huge deal. Congratulations on that. Wow, back in June.
Super excited about that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, with Keeping Our Time, it's a little bit different. It still has some similar tropes. Basically, it's about Special Agent Rory Pagan and Aaron Lawson. They're these two FBI agents who are at the Bureau in New York City. And the idea is that they risk their lives every day to protect innocent people, but they're still also both dealing with a lot of their own personal struggles. And I wrote Keeping Our Time because I wanted to show the dynamics of our relationships between family, friends, and strangers, and how we affect those in our community in ways that we don't even realize. And in the film, it's very much a crime drama, but there are these moments of like relationships that you can see because that's, how we impact each other. So there are these tiny little moments that we have. And it's, it's hopefully I'm writing a full script. Hopefully it'll either be a feature film or what I'd like it to be is a series, but it'll go deeper into all of the dynamics through a crime drama lens. And how sometimes the roles that we choose in our own lives, like the jobs we choose or the activities we choose, can start from a desire to fix things in the past, which is very much what Rory, my character, has done. And so, yeah, just kind of, it's a very light touch into a world that I am hoping to expand upon. I am the lead actor, writer, and producer, and I co-directed with my husband and co-produced, and he was the one who directed the whole thing. And then I'm trying to think what else. Yeah, and you can find it on Keeping Our Time Film, which is on Instagram, and then my production company is Diabla Productions, and I'll put the website in there. And then any upcoming projects, I have a web series that we did in quarantine that's actually, it was like a short film we did for a competition. It's called It's the Little Things, and it's basically it's about this vegan internet celebrity chef who just got started at the beginning of quarantine and is now trying to figure out how to navigate the world while also still making her producers happy, while also working from home, while also trying to keep her morals and all that. So yeah, so it's a bunch of fun stuff.
Awesome. That's cool. And then where can we follow that?
That it's the little things. It has an Instagram.
Okay.
I can put it in the chat, but I think it's just it's the Little Things series.
Okay.
So yeah.
Awesome. Well, we'll definitely drop it in the chat so we can follow it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, congratulations to you and your awesome team, and wearing all those hats. You wore a lot of hats on that project.
Yeah. And I just come back from filming upstate like 4 days before we shot it. So that was kind of like, okay, really serious family drama to crime drama with walking around with a gun and stuff. It was crazy going back and forth, but it was super fun.
I bet it was. I mean, it sounds like it. Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing that entire backstory, with us. Congratulations, and thank you for submitting and break a leg at the festival.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. All right. Next up, I have Carissa Gallo. I see you on, your screen. I don't see your face, Carissa. There you are. All right. Carissa, you have a webisode as well. It is called Oddly Popular. It is playing at 4:30 on October 7, and the floor is yours, Carissa. Oh, you're on mute, by the way. We don't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you now. All right, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Carissa Gallo, and my project is Oddly Popular, and it is a television series. It is about 4 fortuneless females that have a hard time navigating daily life, and it gets even more complicated when an accidental text inadvertently lands them their own reality show. And I am the writer and series creator and an actor and a producer on the project.
Awesome. Where did you guys shoot?
We shot in Capistrano Beach, Dana Point, California.
Okay.
And it was just a fun project. We poke a lot of fun at the characters' imperfections and that contrast between reality housewives and the reality Janes, the typical American woman.
And is this like the first episode? Are there more episodes? Like, how do we follow the series?
This was the pilot episode, and we are working on others. You can follow us on official Oddly Popular on Instagram, and there we have the links to our IMDb and our webpage and our YouTube.
Okay, awesome. All right. And then where are you from?
I am from California.
Okay, how did you hear about the festival?
You know, we found it on Film Freeway, but also I have family that my mother grew up on Long Island.
Okay, so that's the connection.
From there was a little bit of had to search for something from history.
All right. Well, again, congratulations. Thank you for submitting. Feel free to share your information in the chat, and we can follow your work there.
Thank you so much. We're really excited to be a part of this festival.
And we're excited to have you. Thank you, Carissa. All right. Next up, I have James Provasilis. Are you with us, James? James Provasilis, your film is called Three Grand Souls. All right. Well, I'm going to go next to Michael Ambrosino. Michael, are you with us? Michael's film is called Corkscrew. Next up, I have Phillip Snyder. Phillip has a film called The Eraser in Long Island short film category. It's October 7th.
Michael here. Oh.
Hello. Michael, I'm going to come right back to you, Michael. I'm going to start with Phillip.
I'm sorry about that. I'm having a lot of audio issues here.
It's all good. We'll come right back to you.
Oh, that's great.
All right, Phillip.
Can you hear me?
Yes, hear you loud and clear.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. My name is Phillip Snyder. I'm the co-director, co-producer, cinematographer, and editor on The Eraser, which my brother Rob wrote and co-produced and co-directed. And it's a 7.5-minute film about bullying and also creativity. And it's really about two brothers who fight a lot. And one of the brothers has a magical ability. He draws, and when he erases something, he can change something. He can change the violence. In fact, if one of the brothers is trying to hurt him, he draws a picture of a hammer and can erase that and stop it. Everything my brother does has kind of a magical element to it. And that's kind of the gist of it. It carries through time when he grows up and becomes a kind of a healer in terms of stopping violence in the world, random shooting, and we kind of deal with all these different topics, including bullying, all in 7.5 minutes. Bullying on television, people who go on TV and insult people, he deals with that by erasing, drawing and erasing. So that's kind of the concept.
Wow, so that's a lot of VFX then, huh?
Yeah, there's a lot of effects, a lot of green screens. I actually had to buy airsoft guns because we have some shooting in this thing, and a lot of states will not send guns into from California into New York State. I found out, even if they're fake guns. You know, that was kind of an interesting dilemma to deal with. But anyway, yeah, that's kind of the concept. We've been associated with this film festival since the first year in 1998, as a matter of fact.
Wow.
A lot of films in there, a lot of horror films. We did a film called Fitzgerald's Flask about F. Scott Fitzgerald, who travels ahead in time from the time he's alive to now, because my brother found out a story about how his flask was auctioned for $30,000. So Fitzgerald attends an auction in, the current time now to get money because he's destitute, he's broke in Hollywood. And so that was the concept of Fitzgerald's Flask, which was in this film festival a few years ago. So,
okay. Well, how do we follow your work? It seems like you've put a ton of things out there. Like, how do we?
I have I have a channel on YouTube, Phil's Film, and also on Vimeo. But Phil's Film on YouTube is probably the best thing to do because you can go from one to another, see everything on there. Some documentaries that I've done too. I live in Island Park, which is next to Long Beach, and I've done some documentaries on Hurricane Sandy and the rebuilding of the boardwalk at Long Beach. Billy Crystal, I interviewed him, and a few years ago. So that's all on my channel on YouTube. So.
All right. Well, please feel free to share in the chat so we can follow your work and see what you're up to and what's next.
I'll put the trailer for Eraser on the chat and my YouTube channel as well.
Okay, great.
Oh, my brother wanted to mention one thing. He couldn't be here. He said he got the idea for the Eraser from watching a Warner Brothers Daffy Duck cartoon where somebody's bullying somebody and the artist comes in and erases the person. And so that's where he got the concept.
That's pretty awesome. That's cool.
I mean, it's a simple concept. But,
yeah.
In Fitzgerald's Flask, Fitzgerald contacts H.G. Wells and says, how can I travel through time? And he says, the time machine is actually a toilet. So if you flush the toilet, you'll move ahead in time. And that's our film, Fitzgerald's Flask, which was in this film festival, as I mentioned.
Awesome.
So, kind of crazy.
Congratulations. Send our regards to your brother.
Yeah.
Break a leg, and thank you for submitting again and being, with us at LIIFE. And yeah. Thank you for being on tonight, Phillip.
Okay. Great.
Awesome. All right, Michael, we're going to have you back on. You have your audio working, everything good?
Yeah, everything's good. Sorry about that before.
No worries, all good. Glad that you were on and you can hear us. So you have a film called Corkscrew. It's in the Long Island short film category. It's also playing at 7:30 on October 7th. The floor is yours.
Yes, sir. Yeah, thank you. So yeah, my name is Michael Ambrosino. We shot this film called Corkscrew at the Massapequa Long Island Railroad Station. And it's basically about this business person who is on his evening commute home from work. It's fairly late. It's close to midnight in the film. And as he's waiting for a train, he encounters his doppelganger. And in chasing down his doppelganger, he kind of spirals down a terrifying series of events, I'll say. It's very much inspired. It's a super short film. It's about 5 minutes long. It's very much inspired by like things like The Twilight Zone, with where it kind of takes an ordinary lead character and throws them in this kind of like, extraordinary, twisted situation. And yeah, it was super fun to do. It was really just myself and my actor, Vinny. I produced the film, I wrote it, directed it, shot it, and it was a lot of fun. We shot it in one night, about 4 hours. Yeah, I thank you for welcoming us and the film to the festival.
And where did you shoot it?
I shot it in Massapequa at the Long Island Railroad Station.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, is there anything that you want to share with us, or we can follow your work or what you're up to next?
This is actually like my first short film. So there's not much other than this that I have. And I don't really have any pages for Corkscrew at the moment. It's really just kind of out there on Film Freeway. But I did just a new short film called Purgatory, which I'm editing at the moment. And I'm very excited about that one. So maybe we'll be back.
Okay. All right. Well, we'd love to have you back. Thank you for submitting. Congratulations on your first film. That's pretty awesome.
Thank you very much. I'm super excited to be part of this and to see everyone's work.
Great. Well, break a leg out there. There's a couple of filmmakers I see on here. I don't have your name on the block. Is there anyone that I missed? All right.
Yeah, Tobin.
Okay. So I'll start with Tobin first. If you can please give us your, full name, the name of your film, and a little bit about you, where your film, where you shot, and anything that you think we should know.
Hi, my name is Ivy Tobin, and I am the executive director. I'm sorry, I'm a little nervous. This is like my first venture into a Zoom chat.
Well, you're doing just fine. You're just doing.
Am I? Okay. Yeah. Let me start over. My name is Ivy Tobin, and I am the executive producer, the creator, the writer, and I act in the web series and TV pilot, My Life as a Doormat. And
okay,
My Life
here. Okay, it's playing October 7th at 1:30.
Right.
Okay, go ahead.
So, My Life as a Doormat is a soap opera-ish dramedy, a web series or a TV pilot about a too nice for her own good baby boomer who revisits the people and the events in her past that made her the doormat she is today. And it was filmed in New York City. And I currently am kind of stuck in Florida because of COVID, but I hope to be back in New York ASAP when they don't quarantine us. And I had a wonderful time. My co-producer, Mitch Poulis, and I have known each other since we're 10 years old, and we have always stayed in touch. And I actually wrote the book, My Life as a Doormat, and have always thought it would be a great TV series, or a web series. So I just wrote the pilot, and now we have 4 seasons and 20 episodes already, you know, not completely written, but ready to be developed. And that's it.
Awesome. And what inspired you to, you know, make this film?
Well, like I said, I wrote the book, and I was an actor for many, many years in New York. And then I wrote the book, and then I decided that it would be good for television. And I didn't know how to write a script, but I got a draft, and I sat down and I scripted it out, and it was a lot of fun. And I have a knack for writing dialogue, and I had a burning desire to do art and do something that I was in charge of. And I really liked that. And I worked with some great people on the film, and I'm very, very excited that I got selected by Long Island International Film Expo. And I just wish it wasn't, you know, that we could all be together, because I'd love to meet y'all.
Yeah. Well, we're hoping for next year, you know, and we'd love to meet you too. I mean, thank you for, you know, submitting to Long Island International Film Expo.
My pleasure.
Congratulations, you know, and, you know, break a leg at the festival.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. All right. Well, next up, I have Abigail. Abigail, I'm sorry, I don't have you listed. I don't know what section you're actually in, so we'll follow up on that. But I'll introduce your film. It's called Icarus Stops for Breakfast. And if you want to tell us a little bit about yourself, where you filmed, where you are, and anything that you think we should know.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much for having us, first of all. Yeah, so I'm the director of Icarus Stops for Breakfast. Holly Harms wrote the film script, and it's adapted from a short story called Eating by Rick Bass. And it's a dark comedy. It takes place in the mountains of Phoenicia, and 2 misfits on a road trip, they encounter a magical owl, and then they stop at this diner, which appears to be caught in a time warp. And well, a lot of things happen. I'm not going to tell you all the things that happen, because there's a short film, otherwise you won't want to watch it, you know. So.
Okay, and where was the shot?
It was shot when or where?
Where?
In Phoenicia, upstate New York.
Okay, okay. You have a little action, so I wasn't sure if it was shot in the UK or, you know, that's what I was wondering.
No, it's Phoenicia in the States.
Okay, awesome. Well, congratulations. Thank you for submitting. And then what you can do is, you did receive the email from Rachel, right?
Yeah.
All right. So if you want to just send an email back, and we can confirm, you know, your section.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Thank you
very much.
You're
very welcome. The only other person I see here that hasn't gone, I don't know if it's, you know, Michael, if you're on 2 phones, but I felt like I heard you on another phone, but there's a number listed, 347-531-3100. That person hasn't talked, unless that was Michael.
That is Michael. That's me.
Okay. So you're logged in twice. Okay, got you. All right, excellent. Well, that's basically everyone, guys. I mean, tonight's the last night of doing all these, you know, wonderful interviews. Again, this is the 23rd Annual Long Island International Film Expo, which starts September 30th to October 8th. You know, thank you again to Deborah Markowitz for putting this together, John Marine for filming and recording this, and setting up the Zoom, and Rachel Perez for sending all the emails out, you know, this evening. Would anyone like to say anything as we close out and wrap up tonight? Okay.
Hey, thank you. I don't know if I said that before. Thank you for having me as part of this festival.
Yeah, thank you, Gina. We appreciate it. Thank you for submitting. I felt like I heard 2 or 3 other people say something as well.
No, I just said congratulations to everybody here. So.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, same
Yeah,
to you.
thank you so much.
Awesome. All right. Well, everyone have a good evening. Enjoy your holiday weekend and break a leg at the festival. Pleasure meeting all of you.
Thank you.
Much.
Nice
meeting you.
Thank you. Take
Thanks,
care.
guys.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye.